take the challenge. Great ball fire. My eyes adore you. That's it.
Do that to me one more time.
So of course, one of the first things that we want to check to see is what kind of degradation has happened in this time. So I charged the car last night to 100%. Now it's got 100,600 kilometers, which is about 62,509 miles. So let's get rid of that. So there on the dash, you can see on the bottom left, it says 100%. So let's see what we have for display. Let's go down to distance. Let's go back. Let's finish all that. So there you have it. 420. Well, that's kind of fitting for Elon Musk smoking marijuana on the Joe Rogan show. So yeah, 420. Now, when this car first came out, it said that it had 270 miles EPA, which is very, let's say it's quite liberal. So I don't know exactly how much this car could do from day one out of the factory. However, 270 miles is about 434 kilometers. So I would say in the last, well, it's 4 years old now, and it's got 100,000 kilometers on it. So I don't think it's done too bad. It's only lost about, well, let's say 10 kilometers in the last 4 years, which is pretty good. All right, next check. So with the battery at 100%, we have to get rid of some of it. It's not good to store the battery for an extended period of time at 100%. Same as being at 0. It's never good to deplete it. So under 10%, over 90, not so great. So I'm going to go for a quick drive. I'm going to talk about what it's like for the last year of ownership, what it's like driving a 4-year-old Tesla AP Model 1, and what it's sort of basically cost me. I'm going to say the cost for service, 0. In the last year, I haven't had to pay for anything out of my pocket. Everything that I've done is at my own desire, want, or need. So the first thing I got done was, of course, window tinting. I went all the way around, even the sides. It's illegal in British Columbia to have tinted side windows, but it's a very small, a very light tint, not noticeable so far to the local constabulary, there you go. So that was done in the United States of America. I crossed the line into Washington State and I got it done, and I think that was about, $300, $250 for all the way around, which is a really good price. The next thing I did is that I bought a set of 21-inch turbine rims with tires. I had looked on Craigslist, you know, Lower Mainland. Everything on there was really expensive, and then I took a look at Craigslist Seattle, and I saw that there was a guy selling his 21-inch turbines. I'm gonna say quite cheap. Quite cheap for what they are. I think I paid about $1,000 for them. So I went down to the Seattle, paid cash, brought them back up, and what I realized is that they didn't come with tire pressure monitors or sensors, and so that was an additional, I think, $400 to have them put on. So I had to buy them from Tesla in Seattle, and then I went to the local tire place and they threw it on. So that was a, you know, what, a $1,500 day. I'll try to put links of all the videos that I've done on them, just so we can sort of play catch up. Regarding faults of the car, like faults for the car, the only two things that has happened is the same thing, and that was the driver's side door handle. The first time it broke, I called the tech, and the mobile crew came out, and within an hour they had fixed it. They had said that the Generation 1 door handles were prone to this one piece breaking, and they were just waiting for all the inventory to be done, because they've replaced it now with new ones that have a higher success rate, or a less failure rate, lower failure rate. So he threw one of those in, and I think about 2 weeks after that, the door handle was presenting too far, like it was presenting almost unlocking the car as it presented. So called them back up, and actually, you know, within 2 days the mobile tech was out again, and he replaced it with yet another new one, and for the last 6 months, 5 months, it's been fine, no issues. So that out of pocket, zero. I didn't have to pay anything for any of that. I had the hood painted. So when I first got the car in December, in March, I went on a road trip down to California, down to LA, over to Palm Springs, and then back home. And I didn't realize how, I want to say, soft the paint is, or how aerodynamic the car is, that it just attracts little rock chips. But when I got back from the trip, I realized that my hood looked like crap. It looked like the solar system, all these white dots everywhere. So I got that painted, and then after 30 days of having that, I put paint protection film on. So these are all things that the car didn't need, but I put on. So the tinting, I paid for that. The rims, I wanted the sexy wheels, boom, I paid extra for that. Nothing for the door handles or the warranty work. The painted hood, of course, was to replace or fix what I should have done from day one, and then the paint protection film put on. I did have the window replaced. Again, I'll link up with whatever up here. So it actually, that cost me a $200 deductible. It's because I had a stone chip in my area of view, and Speedy Auto Glass said, no, you gotta, we can't fix it, you gotta replace it. And then of course I had my car broken into by a piece of crap from Alberta, and I got another link of, I'll just point up to where I think it might be, and yeah, so he smashed the driver's side window. I had to get that replaced. That was that actually wasn't a bad day, because no glass place in the Lower Mainland has a driver's side Tesla Model S window. So you actually have to go down to the service center in Vancouver. They had one, and they fit me in, because they realized I couldn't be driving around with a clear garbage bags, taped to the side of my car. And yeah, they fit me in between. I had to wait there for 6 hours while they did it, but that's the price of doing business. It was an emergency kind of thing, and they fit me in, so good on them. But apart from that, nothing. I've had no problems. It's still as ballsy, still as get up as go as it has been since day one I picked it up. The battery has only lost, what, 4%? So 8 kilometers, I think it is. No, it's less than that. It's about 10%, 2.5%. I think it's about 10 kilometers it's lost. So I think about 2.5% battery degradation since new. Since 2015, so that's 4 years. I think I'm good to go. The only other thing that I have to do with it, nothing. I don't think. I don't have any more plans. The car is so advanced, so techy, that it's not like, oh, you can put an aftermarket exhaust or cold air intake and all that. Nah, it is what it is, and I think I'm done doing stuff with it. Just enjoy driving it every day. So it still is ballsy. I got to tell you this, that on my way to work 3 days ago, 7 o'clock in the morning, that beside me pulls up one of those new Range Rover Sports, and he had his wife there putting on her makeup, and I was just sitting there, and I look over, and he sort of looks over at me and sort of gives me a look, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? So he obviously wanted to race. So I did. I didn't race him because that's against the law. We shared acceleration abilities with each other, and bottom line, I'm gonna say I won. I think we were neck and neck, and then I slowly advanced a little bit, and I think it's because he backed off a little bit. So I was actually quite impressed with that Range Rover. So I went, when I got to work, I quickly Googled it and trying to find out what the specs of it. Well, he's driving a supercharged V8 in that little beast, and I think it was 4.4 seconds 0 to 60, so 100 kilometers an hour, and I think that's about what mine is. So I think we were quite even. But in that, 4 or 5 block distance, I might have used about 3 cents electricity, and I think he might have burned up about $10 of gasoline. So good on you. Another thing is that you're thinking about the cost of driving it versus gasoline. I haven't tracked it over the years, or the year, but one thing I do know is that BC Hydro, the ones that provide power to my vehicle, my house, is 8 cents a kilowatt hour. So it cost me 8 cents a kilowatt hour. It is a 85 kilowatt hour battery. So if I was to fill up, if I plugged in at 0 and I went all the way up to 100%, that would be 85 times 8 cents. So what, about $7, I think, ish, to fill up the car completely. And at no time do you ever get down to 0. So when people at work are asking, what does it cost to fill that? I have to explain that is that a full tank from 0 to 100, about $7. However, you don't do that. You never go down to 0. Your ABC, always be charging. So every opportunity you have, you plug in. And if it means plugging in for half an hour when you're at the superstore or at the library or at the rec center, and it's free, you do it. It's driving an electric vehicle is a little bit of a change of a lifestyle. You got to change certain things around. You got to know, like right now, I don't know what the cost of gasoline is, because I have no need for it. However, I do know where the closest charger is. I know usually the busy times of it. I know all the free ones. Of course, I have the high power wall connector at home, and I have the 110 outlet at work. So that's my primary charging. Anyway, I hope that sort of makes sense. So over the year, I haven't done a cost breakdown of what it costs to own it, but when it comes to service or maintenance, 0. Actually, no. It costs $4 because I bought a bottle of windshield washer fluid and I had to put it in. So there you go. That's the cost for the year. To drive it, to own it, the cost of ownership was $4. Well, there you go. Take care. Talk to you soon.